Hi everyone. So this is a video that I was not planning to film so soon. Yeah, I'm someone who suffers a lot from anxiety. It's been something that I've had to tackle most of my life. Yeah, so today it's my first day back in the office after a few days away on holiday. So I manage a team of I think 6 or 7, depending how you look at it, in the public sector. I came back to an awful lot of emails, and because of my busy day with also being a father, I had other demands. I home educate my oldest son. I needed to take him to his PE lesson, so all this takes time out of your day. I was able to work remotely for a bit whilst he was having it, and then I had to take both my kids to their dentist appointment. The usual pressures of being a parent and trying to work full time, not helped by my youngest son deciding he was going to have an absolute meltdown. Just as we're about to leave to the dentist, he managed to get hold of a load of sweets. We had to wrestle the sweets off him, and then try and wrestle him to try and brush his teeth and get him out the door. And then I literally had to throw my wife and kids outside the dentist where I found a car park space. Yeah, we then watched the England game on the World Cup. So yeah, I suffered from anxiety and basically being permanently in a flight or fight mode without realising it for a long time. And it's only the last few years that I've started to realise I'm quite a nervous, anxious person, become more aware of myself. In a previous career, I worked in the food industry. I worked as a mushroom importer. We used to import, this company I work for, about 200 tons of mushrooms a week from the Netherlands and Ireland. And it's an incredibly stressful job because everything was based on around a 7-hour window. We had to get the mushrooms picked and packed and then shipped over. And if anything went wrong on that process, then we would not end up delivering the mushrooms to Tesco's, who were our customer at the time. They were not the easiest customer to deal with. So I was on the phone at times, like firefighting, and the buzz you got from doing that was pretty immense when you all went well, but it was incredibly stressful. And what I hadn't realised is I was popping ibuprofen constantly because I constantly had a headache, anxiety-based headache caused by my neck tension, back and neck tension. And then before I know it, I found that I was addicted to painkillers. Thankfully, the technical director, he noticed that I was popping pills. I think I was going through a pack or 2 a day of ibuprofen, and I was this is my late 20s. He realised in the signs because he had also had something similar in his younger days. I was getting chest pain as well from the stress. So I signed off work for 3 weeks because of stress. Eventually, because I had to try and get on top of my headaches and my addiction to painkillers. It was good because it meant I did some bike rides and went to the gym and I did some walking. But as soon as I went back, it just came back. If anything, it was worse because I came back to a bit of a mess. And I had to pick up the pieces and train a new member of staff. So in the end, I resigned, went off to do a master's degree and got married. Which led me to become a planner. I didn't put all the pieces together at that time. It wasn't until 2020 when I started to become more spiritually aware of my own self, my body, my soul, that I've started to put the pieces together and realised that I needed to change, and I needed to find a way to sort of cope with this anxiety and hopefully eventually remove it. I managed to do a lot of meditation and obviously a lot of grounding at the time. And I took copious amounts of magnesium, which really, really helped me personally, but obviously that's not medical advice. And that got on top of it. But having one child and then having a second child is quite different. We had a second child in 2021, and it was all right for a year or two. I was able to keep on top of my cortisol levels with lots of walking, but then as my youngest started to grow up, the dynamics changed between my two kids, and we decided to home educate our oldest kid. So I found him again. I was in a position where my stress levels were rising again, because like today they were fighting constantly. So I said to my wife, I said, if it's all right, I'm gonna go out, get some fresh air. And she's very supportive, and actually she picked up a lot on my anxiety before I did, to be honest. So it's tough being a parent. We try and encourage our kids as much as possible to get outside and join in with the gardening, looking after the hens, which is really good and positive. I find they're actually worse when they've had obviously too much sugar, too much screen time. That combination is lethal. So it's been really tough at times, I'm going to be honest with you. I've struggled over the last few years with it, and this is part of the reason why I've started this channel, because I realised that actually I need that downtime. I think part of the reason why my anxiety's been so bad today is that normally I go out for a walk or spend some time in the garden after I've eaten my lunch or before, and I do it in the morning as well. And like I said, because of other things going on and being my first day back, lots of emails to check, lots of people in the team to catch up with, I didn't really get the time, and I'm paying for it now. My neck is in a headache is pretty bad, and my neck's bad. But it does really show the importance of being outside. I'm in this glorious woodland near a village called Pencilwood. I was diagnosed with dyslexia and dyspraxia, which I think, because I'm on the spectrum, my senses are heightened. I'm a lot more sensitive to things around me, like lots of stuff going on, like kids screaming and fighting, and that kind of thing can just set me off. I want to help other people who, not necessarily have neurodiverse issues like myself, but just ordinary people, got stressful jobs, parents who are overwhelmed. That's all. My kids are quite full on. They're very strong-willed. I think if my son Rome was ever tortured, he'd make a great spy, that's for sure. He would not give in. He would carry on, and regardless, and no one would get anything out of him. That's how you triggered by something major like a absolute meltdown from a child or a stressful day at work. Sometimes it can just be went to the shops, and I kind of got back the other day from going to the farm shop, and I noticed that I was shaking. Yeah, I noticed I was shaking and I was jittery, and I realised at that point that I was suffering from anxiety. So I went out, took my shoes off after I got the kids back, and sat on some grass for a bit, and took a few deep breaths, 5-10 minutes, and felt much better for it. But yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't be so annoyed, but because, and obviously anxiety can manifest in so many different ways. People might become addicted to something, to try as a coping mechanism. They could develop into depression, or for me, it just manifests physically in my body, and I want to exercise, I want to run, and sometimes I feel absolutely crippled from my body just let me down, my back and my neck. So it's really tough. And I want to be honest, because I'm this kind of person, I like to talk things through. So obviously, talking through on camera is an interesting way of doing it to perhaps a bigger audience than I would normally get. But I'm sure there's so many people out there like myself who don't talk about these issues. I feel lucky that I haven't suffered from like depression. It's never got that bad. It's just been there all the time. I'm lucky that I can pour my energy, anxious energy, into my garden, just being outside. It's, living in where I live in the southwest of England. As you can see, it's an incredibly beautiful area, lush green, lots of trees. Like I say, I highly recommend anybody just to get outside if you're feeling like this, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling like I am today, when you've had a tough day, and everything's that, get outside, touch the grass, listen to the birds, listen to the water, take all the information in, because it's all here to help you. Anyway, if you like what I'm doing and you like my honesty, and then please come and join me on my channel, and like and subscribe. It's just a small channel at the moment, but I'm hoping to grow it. I'm hoping that we can grow a community together on this, that people can help each other, support each other through this. So I think there's definitely a movement of people really wanting to reconnect with nature on a therapeutic side. And I think it can really I think it can really help and really heal us. So if you like this, then please come along for the journey, and hopefully I'll be a bit more cheery next time. Anyway, as always, let's get grounded.